The heroes awoke once again to find themselves back in the cabin. The battle with their mirrored selves and the events of the past seemed like a distant memory. After making preparations, they departed the cabin and started into the woods. Talaneth took to the treetops, keeping a close eye on the towering cliff, having been led astray by whatever strange magics had previously prevented him from finding his way. Finally, it seemed, he would learn of what lay within the derelict castle. At the base of a wooden side sat a pedestal with 12 indentations laid into it. In front of the pedestal were an amount of small inscribed stones of equal number. Upon the sign, a riddle. Ianfear went to work on the puzzle, placing the stones into the indentations, as befitting the clues in the riddle. The first group, the fourth, then the second. And as he locked in the final stone of the third group, the statues flanking the signpost came to life and started attacking the heroes. Knowing they were outmatched, the party fled the battle deeper into the forest until they came to a door laid into the base of a giant cliff. Welcome back, my friends, to New Dalancia, our Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition homebrew campaign. I'm your most gracious DM, VGpunx. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. We've got a lot of changes happening in the campaign right now. I'm trying to put a lot more work into everything. So the first thing that you players will probably notice are the changes to our landing page. There are several more pictures down at the bottom left right now, and those are all clickable if you'd like to learn more about the characters that you've met, or if you just you need a refresher or whatever. All of those, all the information that you know of these characters has been input in these uh, nice little clickable entries for you. So anything I can do to help, kind of keep the story flowing for you folks. Um, other announcements for Scriteau down at the bottom, you'll probably notice the generic artwork. I do have an artist currently working on new Scriteau artwork, so hopefully we're going to hear back about that within the week. Otherwise, we will be missing our next session in 2 weeks, and we'll be picking back up in May. So more on that a little bit later. And keep an eye on the socials, and we'll keep you guys up to date from there. Cool. All right. So, as I stated before, when you guys left off, we had you had just escaped the very close combat situation with these with these animated statues, and what we're going to do now is we're actually going to cut to. You're probably not going to see anything at first. Let me go ahead and actually let me let me drag in you guys' characters as appropriate. But you guys just make it up to this door. So we have some people who are out today, probably just dragging behind. You know how it is. Everybody should be able to see now. If not, you might need to reload.
All good here.
And let's get a little bit of the music. Because as you know, you guys are kind of on your way away from this combat scenario with these statues, and they're most likely still behind you at this point. So you all approach this door, just kind of laid into the side of this huge cliff. Hopefully the music isn't too loud for you guys.
I'm having some issues loading the Like it's now telling me this site can't be reached.
Site can't be reached.
Yeah.
Let me.
All right, while we troubleshoot this, I'm going to cut to BRB, so we will be right back.
All right, so now that we have that all squared away, at this point, like I said, these statues are probably still hot on your heels, but you approach this door, just kind of laid into the side of this huge cliff edge or a cliff side. Even looking up from here, you can't see the top or any. It just seems like it goes on forever into the clouds. val'faelen takes a step forward. Wow, the screen went black when I did that. I wonder why. val'faelen takes a step forward, peering at the door. I don't trust it, but we hardly have the time.
Tess is like staring straight at, like her head is like leaned all the way back. She's staring up at how tall the structure is, and she's like, wow, this is much taller than Tess originally thought.
Indeed.
She's gonna take a couple steps toward the door and stare it down for a second and say, do you think it is booby-trapped?
It's possible. Suggest we proceed with caution.
Let me check my spells here. See if I have. I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, I have detect magic. Let's see. That wouldn't really help much against a lock, though. Tess is gonna turn around to Teleneth, and Tess does not suppose that you know how to pick locks.
I do believe that that is something that I can do.
Well, let us see if it is locked. Tess will she'll approach the door and try to open it.
All right.
Oh yeah, I have
one
thieves'
moment, if you please.
tools.
We're just checking to see if it actually indeed is locked.
Excuse me. Tess, you go ahead and try clicking on that door. It does, in fact, open right up, but as soon as you do, or as soon as it does, a spray of fire kind of pours out from this, from the torch. Area.
Hang on. As a tiefling, I can't remember if I have like any kind of oh, where do I find that?
So that's going to be on
Probably
the
be under-
on the attributes page of your character sheet under damage resistances, which in fact you do have resistance to fire,
Okay.
which means you'll take half damage from it. But before
Okay.
you do that, so this was supposed to be a conal effect, but sadly the effects thing I'm still new to. So let me.
I mean, I did see some fire come out. That's really fun.
Yeah, and I was trying to see that should be 50 feet. Top right there. So everybody within, why did that not work the way that I wanted it to? Should be okay. That okay. 15. There we go. That's the cone that it's supposed to be. So Ian, Fear, Tess, you're both in range currently. Go ahead and roll a dexterity save. Dexterity save. So naturally, if you have anything that will give you advantage or any other modification to your dexterity save, you may do so now. Yes, we've got a 16.
Save. I'll just do normal.
Oh, fuck yeah.
20. Ian Fear, go ahead and pull yourself out of range by 5 feet in any direction you would choose.
All right.
Any direction you choose. There you go.
Fire bad.
For everybody else, or actually, Tess, you did save it. You did get the save too. You can pull yourself in 5 feet in any direction. Doesn't matter. I know that all of those directions are currently impacted by the flame, but that's okay.
I mean, except for Talanith.
Yeah, Talanith did not get hit by this.
I think that Tess is just gonna stand there kind of clueless, and you know, like in an anime when somebody is like burnt and they're just like wide-eyed, like yeah, Tess is just gonna oh, you know what? Never mind. Can she step through the door, like through the fire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I didn't think about that as an option.
Okay, so the way this is going to go down for you, Tess, is that you'll be taking damage, half that damage, and then half again. So it'll be a quarter damage. So here we go. First, we're going to roll the damage roll. This is a 9d6. So damage would have been 33. We're going to divide that by 2, which is going to be
7?
My
No,
calculator.
16. 16 is half down. 17 is half up.
half rolled down, half rounded down to 16. So we're going to round that down another half, and that's going to be 8 damage total.
Okay.
Really dodged the bullet on that one. Or the fire.
Is that thing still lit with fire? Like, I know it's not exploded afterwards, but is it like still have fire?
Absolutely, it does.
All right, so Iamphir is going to use his, I believe it's prestidigitation, to snuff out the torch.
Done. The you guys watch as the torch just kind of goes out.
Well, then next time, maybe we should remember that I caused explosions around here.
Tess is gonna turn around and say, "Easy peasy, dragon squeezy. Let us go."
Just as you say that, you notice that the two animated statues start to slowly walk up.
Hurry, 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 hurry.
All right, everybody can go ahead and move through the door if you please. Laneth, as you walk through the other side of the door, you take your time to flip around and close the door behind you. Well, we're safe for now.
But for how long?
Inside the once you get inside the door, this hallway narrows down into a staircase leading up, all made of stone. There's sort of a mix of sort of musky kind of stone smell within this cavern, as well as the distinct smell of metal. Go ahead and come up here as we continue our journey. Just got through that one pretty quickly.
Tess coughs a little bit after getting hit with a wave of fire, and she says, "Oh, Tess's throat is very sore all of a sudden."
Are you alright?
Probably just a little singed, but thank you.
I apologize. I apologize. I should have went first.
No worries. Let us continue, though.
You hear the this deep thud from outside as these obviously these statues are wandering around out there, possibly looking for you. Up the stairs then.
Tess volunteers someone else to go first this time.
I'll go
Understood.
first.
Are you sure, Talaneth? I can take the lead if need be.
It's fine.
He is quite
be-
stealthy.
We might need you as well to stay back in case somehow those statues or something else manages to come in from behind us.
Good strategy. I'll take the rear.
I can't see the map anymore.
No,
Is that-
the map. The map is.
We finished the
We
door,
should be
so-
back on the landing page.
Okay.
Yeah, we finished that that map, so we swap back over.
Okay.
So as you we do a little bit of setup on my side here. As you all start to ascend this staircase, it goes up for some time. The silence of the world outside of the door that you had just come from is now replaced with a low, sort of metallic grinding and whirring noise. It's almost as if something inside the mountain itself has sort of tinged to life. It isn't long before you find yourselves at the end of this long staircase where it sort of evens out into a small hallway that opens out into a much bigger hallway. It's very, very dark in here, by the way.
I have a, let's see. I thought I had a torch and a tinderbox, but... Oh, wait,
So
yes, I do have a torch. Can I light my torch?
You absolutely can.
Okay. I'm gonna
me-
do that.
Lighting your torch, you see that this... Go ahead and actually roll a perception check for me, if you please.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
One moment. Oh, what? Oh, I see. I see. Sorry, one moment here. Picking through some all right. All right. Talanith, as you approach the end of the hallway, where it opens up into sort of this very long corridor, before you step into the long corridor, you look up and notice just above you there's what seems to be a portcullis. Open currently, but stands above you.
Oh, what now?
A portcullis, like a gate.
Oh, okay. And it's above me.
Yeah, so like in sort of medieval castles where they would have the sort of like gate that would have the spikes at the bottom, that so that way when it went down it would stick into the ground.
Correct, yes.
They were sort of the doorway entries and stuff, so you would have it upwards if you were letting people in, but like you could drop it down and it would like stick to the ground, so that way in order to get in people would actually have to lift the door upwards.
So wait, it's like up, suspended from the ceiling, like it could drop down?
Yes.
Okay. It sounds like we're in danger.
Do you all continue to enter into the corridor?
Yes.
Is
Slowly.
everyone else following suit?
Can, like, I'm assuming Tess is seeing this, right?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay.
Find out.
Because Talana's the one that's holding the torch. Perception.
Nope. Too dark.
Oh.
And you're kind of focused ahead.
Okay.
I kind of want to see if I can see what is attached to the portcullis in terms of like a rope or whatever, where it's leading to, if I can see that.
Well, let's go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you see the portcullis.
So I'm going to use, well, is it going to put the thing in here? Probably not. I think it's here. Nope, this way.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll it with advantage. $16. You do see the portcullis. There doesn't seem to be anything weird like attached to it or anything. It is laid into the ceiling though, but you can see the bottom of the portcullis.
Ooh.
Kind of just above your head as you pass underneath.
I'll kind of give it a wary eye up at it, and then like I'm basically looking around to see if I can try to, like, basically sort of looking with anticipation or something.
You all cross underneath the portcullis slowly, carefully, and into the long corridor. Talanith, as you enter this corridor, a sort of gust of wind sort of comes past you. The torch, but then flickers back to life, so it doesn't go out or anything.
There.
As soon as val'faelen crosses that threshold, though, that portcullis comes crashing down. It slams shut behind him. He flips around and grabs it, lifting. No good.
As I expected.
No way but
Sure.
forward.
You hear a sort of whirring sound from up ahead, and clunk, 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 clunk. Something shifting in the distance. One by one, well, two by two, these torches lining the walls start to light, giving you a much better idea of what lies ahead.
It looks like we're expected.
Oh, what a nice welcoming ceremony.
Val sort of takes a couple of steps forward. Interesting. Up ahead in the distance, you see what looks to be a section of the floor that's opened up, and beyond that, laid into the northern wall, a door.
I will say to Val, it might make more sense now to take the lead because I think now we're worried about what's ahead of us.
Indeed. Let's go ahead and roll a, well... Are you guys just going to kind of march forward toward the, like, what's the plan here?
Tess usually hangs around in the back, so she's gonna follow everyone.
Yeah, I think Eamfir. Yeah, I think Eamfir is probably gonna like just follow Val's lead.
Val takes a couple of steps forward. And suddenly you start to hear a sort of dripping sound coming from just behind you. Tess and Eamfir, go ahead and roll a perception check. Actually, let's have everybody go ahead and roll a perception check, please.
Where is that dripping coming from? Is it the ceiling? Is it drool?
Oh yeah, everybody pretty much nailed that down. So you all sort of turn around to look, and behind you in the area, kind of 10 feet from that door, is sort of this oozing material that's coming down from the ceiling.
Ew. What is that?
As you val'faelen sort of turns around to look and sees the material on the floor. Step back, Tess. This could be dangerous.
Tess takes a step backward. What color is it?
It's a white, sort of white grayish material. And you notice that as it drips down from the ceiling, it starts to collect into a pile.
Where is this pile?
Said he's in front of the
It's
door,
like-
sort
it's
of like that
like
portcullis
around-
thing.
Just
I
in
think-
front of the door.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
We may want to take a step back.
Everyone get behind me. Val slowly draws out his blade. I'd like everybody to go ahead and roll an knit.
Oh, you
Hold on.
need an
I have
active.
not.
Yeah.
Sorry,
there's
yeah, I
no
haven't done
active
it yet.
Combat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I was so close.
If you want, you can use your inspiration to re-roll it.
Yes, I will.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull your inspiration. You can go ahead and re-roll that. But we have to keep the new roll.
How do I do that?
So go to your character sheet and just click on... the hell is it? You know what? I can actually re-roll initiative. Yeah, poop. It was 1 point lower. All right. As you guys kind of step back away from the door, the puddle collects into a giant mess of goo, which starts sort of reaching out toward you, and almost as if it's moving. Tess, get back!
I'll try to move back.
Do all right. So let me go ahead and add this one to the list here. Do initiative roll. About where I thought that was going to be. All right, combat has begun. Val, shield at the ready, kind of steps forward. You all get to the door. I'll try to hold them off. I'll be right behind you. All right, Ian Fear. This all begins with you.
You might be muted.
Whoops, sorry. So this is like basically a giant blob of some kind of ooze, right?
Yes.
All right, give me a second. So for his action, Ian Fear is going to go. Sorry, he's gonna point a finger at the creature, and then his eyes are just gonna glow as he goes. And he's gonna cast Ray of Frost. Oh, that's right.
All
It's
right.
gonna be in there. Let me load it up in here. So
I'll delete the old one. All right, that is a hit.
all right. So it will take 8 points of cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
All right.
And then Ian Fear will start making his way down the hallway and say, I think I can buy us a little more time with this, but we must hurry.
The ray seems to just kind of tear through the slime, but it does seem like it damages it somewhat. It's kind of hard to tell,
Yeah, I know. It's a big, giant gelatinous mass. So,
although it still seems to be kind of creeping after you, albeit a bit more slowly.
and then Eamphir will just make his way down the hallway, and then that should be it.
Talanith, you're up next.
He looks over at Val and it says, I don't think that there's anything that we can do against this foe. We need to run.
I'm right behind you.
Alright, so Talanith starts making his way. How far can he go?
Every turn you get a move action and an action and a basic action. So your movement action is up to your maximum movement, which is 30 feet. However, if you would like to take the dash action on your turn, you may move an additional 30 feet by using your action. Note that if by doing so, you forfeit that action and can no longer do things like attack. So,
yeah, there's not anything that I can do against this thing as a typical melee kind of rogue. So I need to go ahead and dash.
right. So one way we can do that is, does this still work? Yeah, you can use the measurement controls to draw a ray from your character. Oh, that is not what I meant to do.
Okay, got it.
There it is. Yeah, the little ruler lets you do that.
Right.
So 60 feet directly away would be, bam, right there.
I don't think that I want to go that far, because I don't want to, I'll just run up alongside Eamphir.
Okay. So that means you did not take your action. You still have some kind of action that you can take this turn.
Okay. There's still not much that I can do in this case. I would just lose my weapons. So I just, just run that distance and that's it.
Right, Val'faelen equally is going to take off, running forward just behind Eamphir. And he is actually going to lob a hand axe. That is a hit. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I should have deleted that after I did the thing. Still, I've got a second one, so. All right. 8 damage. The hand axe sinks into the gelatinous mess. And it starts to kind of split it, and it has to reform. But you see some of the glob kind of splatter against the wall as the hand axe comes out the other side. All right, ends Val's turn. Tess, you're up next.
Tess is going to choose the run like hell option and dash 60 feet ahead. Whee! Boop. And she's going to stop in place and keep an eye on the rest of the party to make sure that they're going to be able to catch up.
As its movement is currently halved, I need to actually put that as a thing here. Whoops. That is not what I meant to do. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Where is the little thing that says that this person's movement is hindered? The amount of icons they have on this thing is just kind of like not that great, but that's okay. We're just going to say weekend, and that's going to be the one that we use for this. Okay. Let's see. All right, so it moves about 5 feet forward. Okay, yeah. You see it sort of reaching these sort of tendril-like pseudopods out, and that's how it's sort of moving forward. It's almost like these little arms that come out and walk it forward towards you, albeit very slowly, as they're sort of like ice on them that's still kind of breaking off. All right. That ends that turn. The effect of your ray of frost has ended, Ian Fear. And you're up. Ian Fear? Ian Fear, you with us?
Sorry, muted it on the actual headset. So, seeing that that the ray of frost help at least, it seemed to at least keep the creature from moving as quickly as it appeared that it could. He will once again attempt to try this ray of frost to try to keep its movement down and buy the group more time.
All right. Go ahead and roll it.
$25.
That is a hit.
For 4 cold damage, and again, its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of the turn, and then Ian Fear will make his way towards Tess. Yep, that should be right there. And that should be the turn.
Talanith, you're up.
You said that this thing had legs, like tendril-like legs, right?
It's not that the thing has legs, so to speak, but the way that it's moving is it's sort of like extending out these like kind of weird tendrils that are moving it forward, but they just kind of seem to come from this sort of anomalous shape that it is.
I'm gonna take my boomerang and aim for one of the tendrils.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Trying to remember how to do that. Okay, here, I think.
Nope. So once you click it, it's going to put it in chat, right?
Oh.
So go look at the chat real quick. I'm going to delete the other 3 there.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
So now in chat, there's an attack and a damage button. So you can click on attack to roll the attack, and then damage if you hit. Roll damage. Ooh, that is a fumble.
Ah.
So you kind of work to get your boomerang out. You give it a nice clean throw, but it misses wide. It does come back to you though, so you are able to still retrieve it from the air, but you absolutely whiff that.
That was embarrassing.
You still have your movement action, by the way. You can still take a 30 foot of movement.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take that. You said 30?
30, up to 30.
Okay. He yells over at Val, "Run!"
You don't have to tell me twice. Val. Now kind of has his hand on that other hand axe. Instead, he stows his weapon and just kind of books it. What features does he actually have? I think that's like 15 feet. Yeah. Okay, nothing else I can do there. Gonna go ahead and end Val's turn. Tess, you're up.
Let's see. Seeing everybody kind of catch up, Tess, never having seen a creature like this, is going to make another mad dash. 60 feet. And stop and wait for the rest of the team.
The gelatinous ooze creeps forward another 5 feet, obviously slowed by the ice that's now that's once again crumbling off of its pseudopods as it continues to creep forward toward you. Ian Fear.
Okay, well, seeing we appear to at least have sufficient enough space, Fear is going to make a dash as well to go follow directly with Tess. Fear is also going to kind of sort of see if he can see anything, at least on the ceiling, if there's like any sort of like hanging like chandeliers, like just something that might be like hanging off the ceiling.
Nope, nothing seems to be hanging off the ceiling. It looks very clear to you at this point. Even in the areas of darkness, you can clearly see that it is just a flat ceiling. Nothing there.
Okay. But so yeah, Fear will wait here with Tess.
Ahead of you, though, a pit. All right. And Fear, Talanith, you're up next.
Okay. Kind of at the point where, there's not really. I think I'm out of range of this thing from where I am, aren't I?
For what, a ranged attack?
Yeah.
Let me see. Your boomerang will have disadvantage after 60 feet, but can go up to 120 feet. So, let's see. 60 feet is here. So you would be getting disadvantage, but you can still hit it with your boomerang.
I'm going to try and give it a go with my boomerang again.
Yeah, go for it. Remember, you are rolling at a disadvantage, though.
Okay. Just roll like normal?
So when you click on the attack button, it's going to ask normal, advantage, or disadvantage. Just click on the disadvantage button.
Okay.
That'll roll 2d20, and it will keep the lower number. So the disadvantage roll was a 17, which is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. You arc that thing just right and chuck it right down that hallway, and you hear it fly down the hallway, echoing as it goes. It strikes one of the pseudopods on the gelatinous creature, and you watch as it severs the entire pseudopod, which falls down to the floor and kind of crumbles into ash. Doesn't seem like it phased it very much otherwise, as it just kind of sprouts another tendril where that one fell off. But it seemed to do some damage. You still have your move action.
All right. I have another action. Moving action, right?
Yeah, you can now move. And if you have anything that's marked as bonus action, you can also do that.
I'm going to run back. Let's see.
You can go up to 30 feet with this action, with this movement.
Okay.
Oh, it's actually
Hmm?
from you right here.
Okay. Right here? Close.
Yeah, that works, yeah. All right, Val'faelen is going to follow suit. Taking that 30 foot. Oh, there we go. Tess, you're up.
She's going to run 30 feet ahead. Seeing the pit up ahead, she's going to prepare her quarterstaff to see if we can pole vault over the pit.
Okay.
But that'll be happening next round. So she's just she's pulling out her staff, and she's going to shout back to everybody, pit up ahead, there's a pit. And that's
This
it
is
for me.
the pits. I couldn't resist that.
Just keep thinking deeper and deeper.
That effect is now off. The gelatinous ooze continues to make its way forward at full speed now. It makes it a whopping 10 feet. Ian Fear, you're up next.
All right. So Fear. Oh, I'm seeing this pit. 15, 20, 25, 30. The Fear is going to come up here, and so judging this pit size.
You can't really tell at this distance how deep the pit is, but you know for a fact that if you are to get a running start on it, you can pretty easily jump over that. So, basically, that, let me see. Oh, actually, no. Ian Fear, you might have some trouble getting over that. Tess, on the other hand, you will be able to clear it as long as you have a 10-foot running start. Ian Fear, you'll have to figure out another way.
Ian Fear will say, Tess, you see if you can manage to get it on the other side. I've got an idea for getting the rest of us over.
Sounds good.
Ian Fear, does that end your turn?
So Ian Fear is, let's see. Yeah, that'll end my turn.
All right, Ian Fear. Alaneth, you're up next.
Okay, I'm going to throw my boomerang at it again.
All right, go ahead and launch that shit.
Ah,
You chuck your boomerang, it goes flying down the hallway, striking yet another tendril of the strange gelatinous figure. You see once again that it slices that tendril off. It falls down to the floor and crumples into an array of dust. Go ahead and roll damage. That was a hit.
oh,
That is an interesting weapon that you have there, but perhaps we can talk about that later.
Telanis nods. Oh, I still have my
Yeah, I'm
movement.
sorry. Yes, you see, you still have your movement.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. Move back another 30 feet. So,
Running another 30 feet.
yeah.
You catch your boomerang and continue on your way.
Come on, Val.
You can now see the pit quite a bit more clearly at this point. Only I had such a weapon. He takes off down the line, staying just behind you. He's gonna go ahead and end his turn. With his action, he starts to rifle around inside his backpack temporarily. Before long, he pulls out what looks like a little teeny tiny keg. He looks over at you, Lana. I have a bit of an idea.
What you're thinking?
I honestly don't know if it's going to work. You start to see like these sort of plumes of this like black sooty smoke coming from his nostrils. Tess, you're up.
Following the plan set up between Ian Fear and Tess, Tess is going to continue running toward the pit, and when she gets to like right here, this like step before the pit, she's gonna use her quarterstaff to pole vault over it just to make sure. She's not the best jumper. She's small.
You actually do not need to roll anything for that. Your strength is 10, so you are easily able to make it over that 10 foot.
Okay. Let's see.
So you can go ahead and move yourself to the
I
other
can't.
side.
It says attempted
okay.
token movement collides with at least one wall. There we go. Thank
Got
you.
it.
And then
That's what the
she's
DM's for.
going to wait anxiously to see if everyone else can get through it.
The door on the other side beckons. A white maw moves forward another 10 feet. At least it's moving slowly.
Silver linings.
Ian Fear, you're up.
All right. Also, you should check the messages in our Discord thing. But so Ian Fear, since Ian Fear does not look to be as hardy or capable as Tess, he's going to sort of reach within himself, and like his eyes are going to start to glow again, as he will go.
Ooh, what's happening?
And he's gonna cast levitate on himself.
On himself? All right, you know what that means, folks. So we have a second level spell. Go ahead and roll that wild magic. Remember, we are rolling against your own spell save DC, so you'll roll a d20 plus add your charisma to it. So we have a 19. Your spell save DC is 16, so this is a pass.
Okay.
Right.
And then so
no, I think it's actually supposed to be lower. No, we'll go in. No, that's a pass. Go ahead.
all right. So Ianfear will now levitate in the air, and he will use. And now in his movement, he will essentially walk. Or well, I mean, let me make sure that's how it says correctly on here. So rise up vertically 20 feet, and I remain basically 20 feet in the air for 10 minutes, and then it allows me to move. So I'm gonna essentially push myself again from using the ceiling towards Tess.
Okay. So you're able to make it up to the edge of the pit. Both of you standing at the pit now, you can see that the pit the pit is 10 feet across. It is about 20 feet deep.
And then I need you to drag me over to the other side.
All right.
And then after that, that'll be Ianfear's turn.
All right, Talanith, you're up next.
All right. Well, Talanith is still holding the torch. So he's looking over at Val with the keg.
I needn't a torch, friend. His fire starts to kind of like billow or kind of come out of his nostrils. I can breathe fire.
Oh. Forgive me, I forgot. Then I'm going to use my boomerang to try and slow this thing down again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on, let me just make sure that... Oh yeah, it's right at 100 feet, so... Right.
Still with the disadvantage, but...
Right.
Still within range. You seem to be doing really well.
Oh, no.
The one time.
You jinxed it. That's not fair.
You throw the boomerang one more time. It goes, it flies straight down that hall, misses just barely misses the gelatinous ooze, and then comes flying back toward you. But this time, as you're turning around to continue running, you miss that boomerang, and it goes flying down that hallway toward the pit. Ianfear, it stops just below you. Just kind of on the edge of the pit. You still have your move action plan.
Well, I can't really move all that much, really.
How come?
Oh, I'm almost to the pit, aren't I?
Nope.
Oh no. Yeah, you've
Oh.
got a ways. You've got a ways to go before you get there.
It's just dark where you're at. You'll see as
Okay.
soon as you move.
I guess I'll move 30 feet back then.
Yeah, you're about 60 feet from the pit.
Okay. So I can't see like beyond that. Oh, now I can.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like I said, it's just dark because there's not torches on that other part. So
Okay.
Hey Dave,
let
if you're gonna
me-
eat, could you go to push to talk?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Cool.
Val'faelen's just going to take off running behind you. I'll have to set this up closer to the pit. At its current rate of speed, I don't think that it'll get here in time before the alcohol burns off. Be a careful procedure, but should we get through the door first, obviously that takes priority. And I'm going to end Val's turn there. Tess, you're up. Yeah, we can in a few here.
Tess is still anxiously awaiting everyone else to get through, but she is going to make her way to this door here.
The door has 3 locks on it.
Uh-oh. Calling back to Ian Veer, Tess is going to say, the door, it's locked. Tess is not sure she can get through this one. I guess that's going to be the end of Tess's turn.
The ooze creeps forward another 10 feet. Well, and as you can see its figure creeping down the hall ever so slowly at you. Ian Fear, you're up.
So Imfir is gonna say to Val, if we're gonna do what I think you're gonna do, maybe hand that up. See if you can toss it up to me, and I'll see if I can stick it to the ceiling.
Interesting. I like the sound of that.
So Imfir is gonna sort of like since he's in the air, he's gonna try to basically push himself forward by like sort of imagine like how I'm gonna describe this. So when he pushes himself from the ceiling, he's essentially gonna sort of like push himself forward like he's trying to slide almost. Feet first.
Which way are you going?
Towards Tess.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that. Just kind of maneuver yourself along the ceiling toward Tess.
And then
Is it really that uncontrollable? Oh, yeah, right there. That's fun.
But yeah, so after that, he's gonna basically wait on the other side of the pit, and he said, "If you need help, I can assist you with getting across." And then he's gonna wait for the others to try to cross over the pit.
I can make
do
it
need you
across
to-
just fine, thank you.
and I will need you to pull me over to the other side because I'm still colliding with a wall.
Oh, yes, sorry. Wham.
And then yeah, he's gonna just wait for the others to cross over the pit.
All right. Alaneth, you're up next. Talaneth, with your current statisticals, it will you can't really vault over, but you can do some sort of acrobatic fuckery to get over if you can think it up.
All right. Okay, so I do have acrobatics. Roll normal acrobatic roll.
Are you just gonna run and jump straight over?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You go ahead and roll a normal acrobatics roll. Nice. Absolutely nailed it.
All right.
Wham. So you make it over to the other side. Whoop.
Okay.
Went a little too far.
Yeah.
You clear the side.
Come on.
You don't have to tell me twice. I've no intention to die in a place like this. Al stops just in front of the torches here and deposits the keg onto the floor. Takes a 5-foot step just beyond the pit. I can easily clear this. Just 1, make room for me, and 2, let's have that door open, shall we? Tess, you're up.
After rifling through her bag for a moment, she did remember that she actually does have thieves' tools. So we're going to try to pick those locks and see how this goes.
All right. Go ahead and hit that. Use thieves' tools, knowing that you're not proficient with this. Not a bad roll. So you start to fumble around with the first lock, driving the, putting the wedge in as you have previously learned how, and kind of maneuvering the pick around, trying to force the tumblers up into the correct positions. However, you're able to get a couple of them, but before long, they sort of fumble back down into the wrong position. You fail at picking that.
There's just too many locks. Talaneth, do you mind?
Well, Ian Fear will say, I have some skills with that.
It does not matter who. We just need to get this door open as soon as possible.
The white maw creeps forward another 10 feet. At this rate, I could probably read a book before it gets here.
A spicy book?
I still don't know what that means. Talaneth, you're up next.
I'm gonna go up and try and...
Wait, I'm sorry. I skipped Ian Fear. Ian Fear, you're up.
So Ian Fear is going to end the levitation spell so that he floats back down. And then he's going to go over to the door and he will pick up the thieves' tools from Tess and he will attempt his use on the lock. Where is this thing on here? Because I think I need to figure out how to click, because I don't actually have the thieves' tools. I just have the proficiency at using them.
Are you not able to just click the use thieves tools button off Tess's post?
Oh, maybe I did. Let me see.
Wonder if it'll roll it for you, if it'll roll it for you.
Nope.
Okay, so you're...
Actually.
I was about to say, should I roll it and say that that's handing the thieves' tools off to Ian Fear? I don't know, but he's got proficiency.
I can remove them from your inventory and hand them to Ian Fear physically.
Yeah, Tess will hand over the tools.
My goodness. One moment here.
Actually,
There-
I'm thinking it's actually. Well, whatever. It's fine.
They're in your inventory, Ian Fear. And I am just removing them from your inventory.
Tess has not had much practice these days, but best of luck, friend.
Where do they go?
Oh.
Oof.
Oof.
Oh.
Tess sees that Yanfir also hasn't had much practice lately, it seems.
You put in the you put in one of the tensions and start to, sort of go to town with the pick, but the tension snaps. You've got another one, so don't worry.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of more practice should help, but I think we should leave this in the hands of a professional, and that'll be my turn.
Talanith, you're up next.
All right. I'm gonna go up.
I'll let you take a 5-foot step, Ian.
Okay.
For this.
And inventory. All right. Okay. And use thieves tool. Okay.
You see Talanith kneel down next to the lock, places the tension in, and very professionally starts to work at the pick itself, shifting each of the tumblers in place. Talanith, you feel the click, click, click as each tumbler shifts satisfyingly into place. Finally, on that last tumbler, click, and the tension goes slack, and the lock turns, opens, and falls off the door. 2 left.
2 left.
There are 2 other locks.
Oh. Do I have another action left, or?
Nope, you'll have to wait a turn.
Okay. All right.
val'faelen kneels down next to this keg and grasps the tap on it. What's the progress on that lock?
2 more locks to go.
There are
Understood.
multiple locks.
There are 4 locks.
Like that. Good. Understood that reference.
We've got plenty of time, but perhaps let's try not to take all of it, shall we? Hal's going to end his turn. Tess, you are up next.
Can I sacrifice my action to give it to Talanith?
No, I'm afraid not.
Let's see. I can attempt a second lock real quick, if Talanith could move out of the way.
I was about to say you could just grab Talanith's hand and make him do it.
I'm assuming, Ian, fear that you're handing back the thieves' tools.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and take a break right here, actually, before we continue.
Okay. We will be back in 15 minutes.
Okay. And Tess, I think you were just about to take another shot at one of the locks, right?
Yes, indeed.
Let's go ahead and roll that. 14. Again, you gotta work on the lock, but sadly, it just doesn't come together for you.
And then she hands the tools back to Ian Fair. Would you like to try again?
I'm just gonna leave those in your inventory.
Yeah.
There you go. They're back in your inventory. God, you guys. God. All right. So, once again, the slime creeps forward another 10 feet. Another whopping 10 feet. I'm gonna get you eventually. Ian Fear, you're up.
Elderly
Alright.
gelatinous ooze.
Let's come up and let's take a hand with these tools.
Just so you know, I'm still hoping that I get to keep the alcohol.
At this rate, it does look like you'll be able to keep the alcohol.
I am going to. I am going to use my inspiration.
Dice jail.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah, that would actually kill that thief's kid. All right, using your inspiration.
Oh my god!
Gosh, dice jail.
Oh my
Man.
god!
That is three critical fumbles in a row.
Oh my god.
I am so sorry, Tess.
You need new dice. Oh, my poor thieves' tools.
Oh
Ian Fear, you start to try picking the lock and placing that tension in there. You kind of give it a little bit too much muscle and snap. That last tension is broken. The thieves' tools are now rendered useless.
This
Go
is what
ahead
you
and
get when you
remove
get
those.
these tools that aren't making from Shopabin.
This was the
Is that-
best that the dwarves had for Tess, okay?
Ouch, thieves' tools gone. Talanith, you are our only hope. Talanith,
Alright.
you are up next.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use mine. I'll need Ian Fear to take a step back.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that as a bonus action.
Okay. What?
Dude,
Her dice are
going on
cursed
here?
today.
This hurts.
my gosh.
It's like a sick April Fool's joke. Like,
Holy crap. So you
We'll
start to go
say-
to you start to go to work with the thieves' tools, and as you shift the tumblers one at a time, they just kind of start to sink back down into place. It's almost as though you're not putting enough tension on it. Go ahead and end your turn there.
Yeah, Ian Fair will tell Val, this lock is proving a little more difficult.
Stand aside. I have an idea. He takes off and with a running start, he hops over the pit, just kind of leaving the keg in place. That's actually as far as he's able to get for now, so he'll have to do his thing next turn. Tess, you're up next.
Okay, we're a little desperate now here. Can I like roll a strength check to try and like kick the door like as hard as I can?
Perhaps
Or
not
like-
kicking the door, but you can definitely try to break one of the locks somehow.
I can try to break one of the locks. Is it strength?
You can roll a strength. Yeah, you can roll a strength. So you start to try to jam one of these locks, but it just does not budge for you. The slime moves another 10 feet closer. And Ian Fear, you're up next.
Ian Fear is gonna go up and he's gonna try using one of his daggers to either like open the lock or at least pop it off.
You're going to try to force it open using one of your
Yeah.
daggers?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and roll that as a dexterity check.
All right.
Getting the proper leverage on the dagger.
I'm going to use here, let me show this feature. It's where is it? Come on, drag down. Thank you. So this is called magical
Yes.
guidance. Yeah. So
go
I'm
ahead
gonna
and do that.
spend and then I'll spend a sorcery point. So I'll just re-roll this.
That is a much better roll. You are actually able to force that second lock open just by kind of jamming your dagger into the locking mechanism and just absolutely forcing that thing until you hear the of all the tumblers, and they're shattering one by one. The lock goes slack and falls to the floor.
And
The lock
then
remains.
take a step back for Talanith.
Laneth, you're up.
All right.
Laneth, you once again and expertly kneel down and start to work at this lock. It easily comes open and just falls onto the floor. That's the last lock. The door
Redemption.
should be open.
Woo!
I have. Do I have any other? That's all my action, right?
Oh, you can now move.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can like open the door and shit too. Like
Yeah. Talanith looks back at everyone and slowly opens the door. Well, actually, no. Quickly opens the door.
beyond the door is just another staircase leading up.
Yeah, he yells back, "It's open."
I'll be right there. Whose turn is next? Oh God! You hear val'faelen say "ope" as he takes a 5-foot step back and just like jumps over this pit, kneels down and scoops up his keg and turns around to do the same.
Someone pick up my boomerang.
Got it.
Okay.
Tess, are you also going through the door?
Yes, right behind Talanith.
Ian Fear, are you also going through the door?
Well, Ian Fear is gonna wait for Val to cross over and go in, and then before going through the door, he'll just look at the gelatinous mass still sort of rumbling towards, and go, "Ice to meet you."
You're too slow.
val'faelen after scooping up both of those items, makes his way to the other side of the pit pretty easily. You guys actually made through this with just a bit of time remaining on the clock, so that's great. All right, you guys traverse the stairs. All set up. As you traverse the stairs, you start to notice these little stains on the stairs themselves as you're climbing up. I'd like everybody to go ahead and roll a perception check. Five, 15, Flint. So everybody, you recognize these stains as old, dried blood. Just spots of it. Someone was bleeding. You too, Talana. Old, dried blood. Talana leading the way. You all pile into a 10-foot wide hallway that ends in a gate. Wide open. This time not like a portcullis style, like it's going to slam shut down on you, but this time like an old iron gate. As you walk through the gate, it opens into a very large chamber. Moment. Preload that. Oh, and you know what? I forgot. Laneth, you are holding a light. Talaneth, as you enter the gate, the bottom of this huge room that opens up around you. Here. A few bloodstains on the floor betray a path straight ahead through this chamber.
It looks like something was hurt.
Now that you're getting a closer look at it, you're not on the move anymore. You notice the blood actually seems to be a little bit wet, so there's still, it may have been rather recent.
Looks to be fresh.
VGpunx steps out from the gate. Indeed.
We should be at the ready for anything.
VGpunx, his weapon and shield still drawn, kind of looks around the room warily. I'll stay close by you, Talaneth, as I'm unable to see.
Talaneth reaches, or looks behind. You have my boomerang, don't you?
Ah, yes. Here you are.
So I'll go ahead and take lead.
Once again, as you step forward, there are some bowl braziers out, and one by one, they light the way forward until you see at the end of this room, or at the opposite side of this room, a wall with two statues of what look to be sort of like gargoyle figures flanking it. Sort of a wall with this inscription around it.
There's no body.
Doesn't seem to be anything around, no. The trail of blood leads forward from here toward the wall. where it stopped. You all slowly move forward. And as you come up to the wall, the inscription appears to be written actually in common. Strangely enough. One moment while I get that here. All right. The inscription on the wall is such, and here it is on your screen. I'm going to go ahead and give limited ownership to this so that you can all see it. Before you lies a morbid path. Prove your worth, you shall pass. Behind this lock and open gate, which a sanguine paint might soon ablate. Be mindful where your brush submerged, for what is given shall be returned.
Riddles. Why did it have to be riddles?
It's always riddles.
In the dark.
Interesting. I wonder what it could mean.
I'm more concerned with what dropped this blood and what caused the damage.
No expert. But it looks to me like someone limped their way up.
The blood leads here, and stops. So, that tells me that there may be an entrance somewhere around here, or some kind of hidden passage.
Agreed. Like that it has to do with the riddle.
Well, it does have something to do with blood, so we shall see. Tess is going to use her own teeth to just bite like into her hand to cause a little bit of damage and blood, and see if maybe spilling her own blood might help open this gate.
Okay. So you bite into your own hand. Go ahead and take, we'll call that a 1d4 damage. So let me roll a 1d4. Be 3 damage. It's a hard bite.
Turn into a titan.
Yeah.
Tess was just a little hungry.
These fangs are good for something.
Blood starts seeping out from your hand.
So she's going to put her bloody hand on the lock.
There isn't a lock, just a bare wall.
Okay, so on the wall.
You start to kind of move your hand across the wall, smearing this blood onto the wall. Your blood starts to move along this wall until it takes a shape, and from out of the shape steps you.
Oh, hi, me.
Its eyes start to glow, and it draws its weapon towards you with a sort of icy cold, almost as though it's not really thinking about its actions, it's just doing them. Everybody go ahead and roll an in.
says there's no active combat.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have to do that, don't I? All right, everybody go ahead and roll in it.
Ooh.
All right, Ian Fear, you are up first.
All right. Well, Ian Fear is looking at this doppelganger. Very closely, and let's see.
Whatever you do, don't use fire.
I think he's going to he's just gonna basically hold for the moment. Essentially, he's gonna sort of wait to see what happens with this creature. But I think if she makes an aggressive move, he's probably gonna try to swing with his dagger at her.
Okay. So you're moving, are you?
So I'm gonna move like close to Tess, and then when this doppelganger sort of, I'm just gonna sort of hold the action, and then if the doppelganger moves aggressively, whether it's at Tess or just with an aggressive action, Ian Fear is gonna swing with his dagger.
It's pretty much made its intent known right now that it is aggressive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
right,
attacking Tess actively.
So Ian Fear will use his dagger.
This is the magic one of return,
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is also a magic one, but
but not of return. Yeah, go ahead.
right.
Nice, that is a hit.
All right.
7 damage. Ready, in fear, you sort of step forward and slice into this doppelganger, cutting into her arm.
And then I'll say, Tess, you've already been hurt already. You should stay back. And then that should be my turn.
Val steps forward. His weapon actually, he places it back in the scabbard. He says, "This feels incorrect." He attempts to grapple the fake Tess. Opposing strength check from fake Tess. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Tess does not fool around. She kicked down that door a couple of episodes ago.
She's small, but she packs a punch.
Drop your weapon. This doesn't have to end in bloodshed. The fake Tess doesn't seem to even care that he's talking. Tess, you're up.
Well, Tess has to prove herself. She is going to draw her mace, and she's going to mace
Wait,
to the
I'm
face.
so sorry. That's the phone. That's the fake Tess that got.
Oh,
that's
okay.
going right
I was
now.
about to say you. You have to say doppelganger Tess, or
I didn't notice, and that almost turned out bad. So let's see.
Oh, that's right. You need Oh. Hmm.
Woo! The fake test is casting an insect plague on the area specified. Swarming, biting locusts fill a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range. The sphere spreads around corners. The sphere remains for the duration, and its area is lightly obscured. The sphere's area is now difficult terrain. When the area appears, each creature in it must make a Constitution saving throw. Please make a Constitution saving throw. Tess and Ian Fear, it looks like.
I believe I have a reaction.
Okay.
I also have a reaction to taking damage.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Creature is casting a spell of 3rd level or lower. The spell fails and has no effect. This one is a 5th level spell, so...
So I make an ability... If it is cast as a 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spell casting ability.
The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So 15 is the DC on that. Go ahead and roll.
And then this is... So...
Actually, before you do that, can you go ahead and roll a wild magic, please?
So that would be...
Right. Let me double check.
I think that's 14? Because that's 3rd level spell.
Did I put that in games? Yes, there it is. So it's 1d20 plus your spell level, or plus the spell level that you're casting. So that's the 3rd level. So it'll be 11 plus 3, which is 14. If the roll is higher than the caster's spell save DC, so your spell save DC is 16, which it is not higher. Wild magic surge occurs. So in this case, it does not occur. You're cool.
Okay, and then this is... So I need to roll an ability check using my spell casting ability.
Yes.
So this is...
That would be charisma.
Okay.
Yep. And you're looking to roll a 15 or higher.
Come on, why is this... Sorry. There we go.
Nice. So you see the fake Tess about to cast a spell. Ian Fear quickly rushes in and mutters. Let me see. It's somatic. Okay, you see Ian Fear kind of rush in and make a gesture with his hands. Magic leaps from his hands and quaffs this magical plague of insects that comes forth from Tess's hand. Nothing happens.
You didn't say the magic word.
Wonder how long he was waiting. There it is. All right. Nice work. The fake Tess takes a 5-foot step backward and then ends turn there. Kalan, if you're up.
Okay, I can't see the fake Tess. Where is she?
What?
Yeah, I just see Val, Ian Fear, and... Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't see it.
That's the real Tess. This is the fake Tess.
Oh, okay. I don't even see a marker for her at all. But,
oh, weird.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe refresh the screen?
That's okay.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna move forward and go in with my daggers. I just click on the daggers, right? And it should be in the chat.
Click on your daggers. There you go. Put it in the chat.
Okay.
Go ahead and click on attack on the first one.
All right.
14. That is a miss.
Okay. Do I
Strike
do
out with
the
your
second one?
Yeah, go ahead and do the second one first, and we'll talk about how it went down.
Okay.
24 is a hit.
All right. Roll damage.
Yep, go ahead and roll damage on that second one. 6, okay. The fake Tess, seeing you incoming, redirects your first attack so that it does not strike. But the second attack, as you swing around with your left dagger, catches her off guard and cuts deep into her chest. She doesn't seem to react to it in any way, just kind of keeping this icy gaze on you the entire time. Her face never distorting in pain or anything of the sort. Anything else you got, Talana?
Talana stumbles back and is kind of confused. He has this confused look on his face. Usually people scream out in pain.
Tess is going to go ahead and use Hellish Rebuke as a reaction. She points her finger at you, and you are momentarily surrounded by these flames. These flames kind of spring up all around you. I need you to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
The DC to beat in this case will be 14. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a DC 12 dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay.
That is a pass. Wait, must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save. Okay, or half as much damage on a successful. So, damn. So half of 13 is gonna be 6. So 6 damage to you, Talana.
When he winces in pain.
Yeah, Talana's starting to look a bit wounded. All right, actual Tess, you're up.
All right, Tess is going to heal herself.
$14. Very nice.
And as a bonus action, hang on real quick.
Of course.
She's going to use Holy Weapon on her quarterstaff.
Fuel weapon you touch with holy power until the spell ends. This weapon emits bright light on a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Let me go ahead and get that going. It was a dim light for 30. In addition, weapon attacks made with it deal an extra 2d8 radiant damage on hit. If the weapon isn't already a magic weapon, it becomes one for the duration. As a bonus action on your turn, you can dismiss this spell and cause the weapon to emit a burst of radiance. Each creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet of the weapon must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 4d8 radiant damage and is blinded for 1 minute. On a successful save, the creature takes... Wow, that is quite a spell right there. All right.
And I believe that's all I can do for my current turn.
Ian Fear, you're up.
All right. Ian Fear is gonna sort of come over here onto this side in front of the creature, and okay. He is going to use actually, let me see. Yeah, he's going to use the Ray of Frost on the test. On the fake test.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
21.
21's a hit.
All right, so takes 6 cold damage, and the speed is reduced by 10. I'll say, you need to chill out.
Would seem that I'm kind of in the line of ice. Would say line of fire, but this is ice. Does this affect me at all?
No, this is a ranged spell attack, so he is able to shoot past you.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would say, like everything that is with it, like it shoots out with an array before you, and then it's like X number of feet wide, X number of feet long.
Yeah, some of these,
so
like if they're ranged, it has like a cone or something built in too. So
yeah. So in this case, when it's a ranged spell like this, it acts a little bit more like, let's say, a crossbow, where you're in front of Ian Fear, but Ian Fear can just as easily kind of maneuver left or right by less than 5 feet in order to shoot around you. Make sense? I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I think it just cut you out that one time.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, Val'faelen, still kind of unsure, finally draws his weapon, and let's see if I can pull this thing off. Let's see here. No, actually, he's going to stow his weapon, once again trying to grapple. Man, I'm rolling crappy today.
Tess is like, yeah, I ain't having none of that.
Again, Tess. Again, the fake Tess just kind of dodges around. He's unable to grapple her, stopping the fight. Tess the fake Tess takes a 5-foot step toward the real Tess. Oh, that's why. What? Oh, I see. Oh boy. Celestial Spirit. Oh no, never mind. Really? Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh wow. You guys lucked out with that one, huh? Let's see. Tess, you've got a blight incoming. So this the fake Tess cants a sort of strange set of words, waving her hands. This energy just kind of washes over you, Tess. You can feel like the moisture in like your mouth and on your person. Oh wow.
Nat 20, baby.
On a nat 20 save roll, you take absolutely no damage on this one.
Okay, fair enough.
You feel that energy start to wash over you, but kind of instantly you just kind of, like muscle through it. Nothing happens. Wow. I'm just wiping the floor with this status. Talanith, go ahead.
You might be muted or we can't hear you.
Apologies for that. Okay, I'm gonna go at her with my daggers again. My dice
First
rolls.
attack is a miss. Second attack roll is a hit.
Seem to be having deja vu here.
Deja vu.
Oh yeah. Damage.
For 5 damage. You swing around with your primary dagger. Once again, she just kind of sidesteps it, but the second dagger connects, stabbing her squarely, sort of right in the side. Again, she doesn't wince in pain or anything of the sort, just kind of continues her onslaught. Real Tess, you're up.
Using her quarterstaff, Tess would like to try and sweep enemy Tess off her feet with it.
Okay. That is going to be we'll call that a dexterity check
Okay.
for Trip. And this will be to an opposing a dexterity saving throw. Actually, let's call that a with disadvantage because she's slowed. So 9 versus 21. The other Tess falls down to her feet, or to her, on her butt.
Okay, and I can attack her while she's knocked prone, right?
And you get the advantage, yes.
Okay, so Tess is going to hit enemy Tess in the face with her quarterstaff that is imbued with her radiant magic. So I believe that is it's a regular quarterstaff attack with advantage, correct?
Correct.
Plus the 2d8. Can I just click this button and it does it?
So first you'll click the damage on your quarterstaff. Up, so there's your holy weapon damage. So you have 26 damage for holy. And go ahead and click the damage on your quarterstaff to see what the actual weapon does.
Okay.
3. No, 5.
31 damage, not bad.
First, you sweep this test down to the floor with your staff, and for your second attack, you just make a straight up attack where
She
down to her
Tess
face.
holds this quarterstaff above her head, and she just whacks enemy Tess right on the top of the skull.
and it's a little disturbing to you as you kind of crack open her skull against the rock, and the blood just kind of sprays out backward.
That's what I call a splitting headache.
She is now bleeding profusely from her skull. Blood just draining down her hair, soaking her head and spraying up against the.
Did it spray up against the wall behind us?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
No change, however.
And I believe that ends my turn.
Ian Fear, you're up. You might be muted.
I am, but I'm also determining what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. Where is it? I have one more 4th level spell. Yeah, Ian Fear is just gonna use the magic dagger with the return spell for the attack.
You're throwing your dagger?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll with it.
Question. So, sorry, let me double check something real quick. What was I gonna ask?
I need to actually put the return.
Would this attack count as being with a ranged weapon?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll
Yeah,
do the
thrown
attack.
weapons are ranged weapons.
All right, so 22
22 is a hit.
because
Oh, and that should have been with advantage, but it's a hit anyway, so.
yeah.
I'm afraid you cannot sneak attack.
Well, because it's if well, first it's if I have a ranged attack with the weapon, if I have
yeah,
advantage on the
okay.
attack, or if the enemy is within 5 feet of it.
Okay, no,
of
that's
range.
fair. Yeah, I'll go ahead and allow it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, so this is the. I guess this is right. Hang on. This is the sneak attack, and then this is the dagger.
Tessie watches as Ian Fear's dagger sticks into the chest of this fallen Tess. Tess the fake Tess starts to finally scream out with your own voice with a as it dissipates into just dust.
Well, Tess will definitely be seeing that in her nightmares.
Bites the
And-
dust.
And then, yeah, with a gesture, he'll just return the dagger back to his hand.
The wall, this place slides up, revealing an entryway.
Well, Tess is going to walk through it. I guess since her holy weapon is still active, because it hasn't been an hour yet, she's gonna be a good source of light for now, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
bright light, 30-foot radius.
You look around, Val'faelen, kind of standing there, still sort of in shock from everything that just transpired. I must apologize. I don't know what came over me.
It's okay, friend. Let us move on.
Hmm. He kind of slowly just follows after you out into the hallway. We're going to go ahead and stop this map and go back to the landing page here. Yet another staircase starts from this doorway. You all begin to walk up once again. But this time, as you get to the so the stone staircase this time leads to a fine-looking wooden door that, even before you actually come up to it, as you're on the approach, it just starts to creak open ever so slightly. This warm light fills the stairwell and invites you inside.
Well, Tess is for sure gonna keep walking through. She's just gonna another warm welcoming, and then walk through the door.
Kind of push the door open, and it reveals this. Is that actually showing? Oh, no, it's not yet.
No, it's not showing yet. No.
All right. Still didn't show. Come on, guys. I'm not sure why that didn't show to everybody the first time, but there it is. Inside the door, it opens to reveal a cozy banquet hall. The table is all set with dishes, and a most enticing meal is set upon the table. 8 chairs flank the sides, each with a plate set before it. Before you can give the setting a second thought, voice calls from beyond the door at the back of the room. One moment. The door opens. You hear the voice. Well, please sit down. It's been many years since I last had visitors from the outside of the mirror. A tall, elven woman walks through the door at the back. Her hair, silver and gray, sort of betraying her age, but her skin and her facial features make her appear pretty young. She comes in, locking eyes with each of you. Please, sit.
For someone who hasn't had company in a very long time, you sure do have a lot of chairs and food.
Well, I have been expecting you.
Fair
Who
enough.
are you? Talanith is just direct.
I do believe that your companions might be able to answer that question for you.
You know
Do
her?
you not?
What do I have to roll to see if Tess remembers?
Ian Fear will sort of look with raised eyebrow.
My memory's
lady?
bad.
Indeed. She looks at you, kind of
Well,
smiling.
I'll say, well, it's certainly, if you've went through all this trouble, it certainly would be rude to not take you up on such a fine offer.
She starts to walk toward the chair at the end of the table and picks up the glass. Come, please, sit. I mean you no harm.
Mm-hmm.
Tess will take a seat.
Ian Fear will sort of take the seat across from Tess.
We're sitting. I'm imagining the lady is sitting at the very end of the table that we're seeing, right?
That's right,
Okay.
a large, kind of decorated chair
Okay.
made of wood and cloth sits at the head of the table. A plate set out for
So-
her as well as a bottle of wine.
So Tess will be sitting in the chair that's closest to her on the left side.
Okay, left side.
Yeah, because we're viewing it top down, so like on the left top side.
I see. Val'faelen's going to take the seat next to you.
Ian Fear will be across from Tess.
Talanith doesn't sit. He's just gonna stand and stare. Yeah, he doesn't trust this.
Well, I don't know what it will take you to convince you, but whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Talanith narrows his eyes and stares.
Now,
Not taking his eyes off of her for a second.
I'm sure that you all have questions, and I also have questions, but before we commence with the, well, I suppose, business, let's have a drink. And she starts to pour up wine. She sort of waves her hand minutely, and the bottle floats over to each place on the table and pours up some wine into each of these glasses nearby you.
What color is the wine? Just to
Blood red. Inferior, if
Blood
you
red.
could you go push to talk, if you please? I'm
Sorry.
getting a lot of background noise from you.
ooh, red. Tess's favorite. She's going to grasp the wine glass and hold it up, but she's gonna wait for the lady to drink first.
The lady kind of sinks back into her chair and sips on the wine.
Tess will take the tiniest little sip to be polite, and then she'll set the wine glass down.
Ian-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ian Fear is gonna take a sip from the wine.
Val'faelen also takes a small sip from the wine after he sort of smells it for a little bit.
Talanith just continues to stare.
Yeah, your glass remains sitting on the table. For all of you who drank the wine, it's a very sweet. It's a very sweet but earthy tasting wine. So you've not really had anything like this before. As soon as it kind of hits your tongue, for a moment, it almost like dries out your mouth. Then, like immediately, your mouth is just flooded with this very bold and wonderful flavor.
Tess must admit, you have very good taste in wine.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that. It's rather vintage, you understand.
What's your game?
Game? I've only questions. I want to know why you're here, but we get to that momentarily. I see that you have a spellcaster in your midst. Kind of looks over at you, Ian Fear.
Yeah, and then so especially whenever, so the way I describe this, so whenever his magic sort of like becomes like really active, like you see the eyes glow and sort of like what looks like sort of the glitter in his hair sort of like shines really brightly. So at the moment it is sort of like passive, but you do see a little bit of it like sort of sparkling and say, indeed.
By blood, I can see. Interesting. Well, I suppose I'll begin. She once again waves her hands, and a set of utensils continues on to one of the racks of meat that is set out on the table. It cuts her a slice and places it down on. Please feel free. Eat. I'm sure you're hungry after your trek through the first 2 levels of this place.
Her mouth already visibly salivating. Tess is going to repeat val'faelen's words from earlier and say, "You don't have to tell Tess twice." And
Val's already like stuffing his face with bread.
and she's going to start chowing down on the food.
Infer will take a little bit of a glance at the meat because he hasn't expressed it explicitly, but he is definitely more on the vegetarian side, or at least pescatarian side. But he'll say
there are also various plates of like vegetables laid about.
But he will say, "Be careful! You don't want to make one of the others jealous of the smell of beef."
So, I must ask, why are you here? There must have been some reason that you came here in specific, of all the places in the mirrored planes you could go.
Infer will look towards the others for a second or two, and then he'll say, "We're not entirely sure. We came across this place in particular because we've seen a face previously in the mirrors, although we don't know much about them."
Might I ask what face it is you've seen?
Infer will sort of look towards the other and say, "I'm not entirely sure, but I think the name we associate them with is Scrito."
The Kenku.
Tess's best friend.
Naughty, naughty script. Be that as it may, it's not his first time going into other planes of existence. I try to tell them to be careful, you understand, and they just... their curiosity gets the better of them. I'm sorry if he caused you any trouble.
No trouble at all. We love Scrito.
As do I.
What-
She says with a smile.
What relationship do you have with Scrito? What exactly is going on?
Ah. You, Tiefling, asked the right questions. She sort of points her finger at you. I was abandoned here many years ago. I've... how is it to say? I'm an elf, and we are very long-lived, but it has been some time since I've been stranded here in this place. Sent here by someone your drow companion might know. Named, Muznir? Ring a bell? Do you remember that, Laneth?
Delaneth looks, says, maybe. Maybe not.
Well,
Who is he to you?
Well, to me, he's the wretch that sent me here. Stranded me. As I'm sure he did with
My
you,
question.
because you came out of the same... You came by way of the same means that I did. However... Well, I'm getting ahead of myself.
What business did you have with him?
He and I have an ancient altercation between the two of us. Him being my naturally sworn enemy at the time, not quite sure if that's still the case in your world, but in my time it was. Look, Muznir is a dangerous fellow.
You said your world. World?
Well, it's the same as yours, only, as I said before, a lot of time has passed.
Delaneth just crosses his arms and keeps staring. Untrusting.
What do you know about any diseases or anything that may be plaguing our world?
Diseases? I know that there was a summoner on your side of the mirror whom I met many years ago named Fulcrum. Drac, I believe, the last name. He may have been tampering about with a disease.
It seems that you are trying your best to be very honest, so Tess is also going to be honest here. When Scritto came through the mirror, he brought the scrolls, right? I'm making sure that my notes here are correct. I believe he did. Okay. He brought the series of scrolls with him. He also seemed very frail and weak, and mentioned something about his people needing saving. Now, Tess is not the best at deciphering these scrolls, but it did seem that you, the lady, may have been at fault for a disease that is plaguing our side of the realm.
Interesting. I and the Kenku have been friends for a very long time. But as you can possibly tell already, they're free to go as they want. I just ask that they don't step through mirrors that they don't know where they lead, because that can be dangerous. You never know where a mirror might leave you. It could be the plane of fire. It could be the nine hells. You never know. It's dangerous. But he is not none of them are prisoners.
Can I roll an insight check to see if she's lying, but also use my ring of truth telling for advantage?
Yup.
Okay.
What specific thing are you trying to tell if she's telling the truth about the Kenku?
If Skrito's people are free, as she says.
There's a mixed bag of results here. It seems like she's lying in some part, but seems to also be like truthful that they are free to go where they want, but not step through the mirror. So, but she seems to be like withholding something.
Tess does not think you're being entirely honest.
Go ahead and. Well, suffice it to say, I long for companionship. Otherwise, I'm here alone. You understand? Trapped here, unable to go back through the mirror.
I'm reading through my notes.
Ian is gonna sort of look to the lady and say, "What do you know of smaller, compact mirrors?"
There are many mirrors that lead to the plane of mirrors. Could you be more specific?
During our travels, we encountered a personal mirror, something small, which also seemed to somehow lead to this plane, but only when it was in close contact with the larger size mirror.
Do you currently have this mirror?
Sadly, I don't believe so. We've had some unusual circumstances.
Yeah, that mirror is no longer in your pocket. Interesting. I've not heard of such an artifact. Something that I might need to keep an eye out for. Well, have the Kenku keep an eye out for, as you understand, I can't leave the tower.
And then,
which brings me back to the magical, or the disease that you mentioned before. I'm unable to leave the tower. I can't go into your realm.
But that doesn't stop you from paying somebody else to do it.
The Kenku are the only people that I'm in contact with, and they're not capable of such atrocity.
So the Kenku are the only ones that know how to mirror walk?
The only ones that both know how to mirror walk and have contact with me. Val'faelen, I presume, is long dead. Did meet him, though.
Tess is going to go back to eating.
Takes another sip of her wine.
Albeit a little bit more slowly as she's mulling everything over.
She looks back over at you, Talanith. Will you not sit and eat? You can see I'm no threat to you.
Oh, can I see that?
Very well.
And Talanith just keeps his arms crossed and eyes narrowed.
You mentioned why you're in the mirrored planes, but why are you here? In this plane? On the other side of yet another mirror? Were you...
Is she talking to Talanith directly?
She's talking to all of you.
Oh, okay.
Were you looking for me?
Don't flatter yourself.
Ian Fair will just say, we've been looking for answers. We came to the mirror plane through the small hand mirror, and then we came through this plane in particular because we saw the faceless plateau. The tower seemed to be the one place that stood out to try to see if we could find some answers.
I see. A logical assumption. Perhaps I am able to help. There are many things in the castle above. You'll pardon me if I do betray this to you. This is not my true form. It is but a projection. I invite you to meet me at the castle above. There will be a few more trials for you to undergo before you get there. I'm afraid I don't have control over those in my current form.
What was the name of the person that trapped her in this realm again?
Muznir?
Muznir.
Muznir Drac?
What about her long dead nemesis? What was their name again? That's Muznir
Drac.
again. I thought they said someone else. Weird.
Oh, the other summoner that was long dead is Falkrin. You know that name because he was the person that had the journal that you found in Dintherum.
Okay.
I invite you up to the castle where we can speak face to face. I know that then you'll know my true intentions. I do, however, have one more question for you. Understand that I don't receive much news from the material world. I would ask you of a person, perhaps someone who is long dead.
Who would that be?
A dwarf of House Malborn. A dwarf named Faraka. Have you heard of her?
I personally don't recall. Is there something I have to roll?
Everybody go ahead and roll a history check.
Okay.
Nice roll, Tess.
Where
Oh no, that wasn't your history check.
Oh, history. Okay, got it.
Yep, history check. Oof. I'm seeing that oof a lot today.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, wow.
I mean, we know of Valfor of the house, but that's it.
What? How do you spell the name? Faraka Malborn?
Yeah,
think it's-
Faraka. One moment, let me grab the. Farika is Farika. Malborn is Malbourn.
Actually, yeah, with my role, maybe I think it's an actual house.
Yeah, Ian Fear, you're confused. Tess,
What's history?
Tess, the only thing that you get out of that is the name Malborn, which you've heard kind of repeated over the course of your journey. It's one of the dwarven great houses. Talanith, you know this person, but only in passing. They are a folk hero of House Malborn.
Okay.
You don't know much more than that, though.
The only thing Tess can recall is the name of the great house. Tess has never met or heard of Afarica.
You see Val kind of stroking his chin. He looks thoughtful. Don't believe I've ever heard that. She looks a little defeated. Stands up from her chair. Well, again, please, join me at the castle above. There will be some trials, you understand. The next few, you'll have to choose one person at a time that will undertake these trials and unlock the way for the rest. This will go on for a few floors.
You're unable to control this. How did this all get set up, all of these trials?
Oh, well, they were here before I arrived. And when I arrived, well, I flew.
That's cheating.
If only. She kind of turns back toward the door and starts to open it. I'll see you above then.
Tell Scrito Tess says hello.
Perhaps you'll see him soon. I'm sure he's around somewhere. She goes through the door, and as soon as she closes that door, there's a whoosh, and all the food and all the drink, and even the light, gone.
Except for Tess's radiant weapon, which is still lighting the place up.
Exactly. You've still got the light from the radiant weapon. You've still got the light from, Talanith's torch.
Yeah, I think Aemfir will say, well, I can't think of a better place in order to at least get a short bit of rest before we continue on.
Tess agrees, especially because we're supposed to do this one at a time. Sounds like it's maybe challenging.
As soon as all of the things are gone, the silence and the kind of crackling of the flame and everything is once again replaced by the low hum, an almost mechanical hum that was present in the rest of the dungeon. The room grows quite cold, empty, save for the table. Now just kind of a rotting, petrified decoration. Truly this lady is a most powerful sorcerer.
I don't trust her.
Nor do I. Be that as it may, have you all not heard of Bark Malborn?
I'm still not entirely sure. I'm still not entirely sure she wasn't referring to an actual house. Like how many floors?
House Malborn is a dwarven great house, Ian Fear.
It has been a while since I've looked through the old books that I was given. I'll need to read back through them again.
Faraka has been dead for centuries. Her story happens a long time ago. She was a dwarf, obviously of House Malborn during the Rockin' War era. The dwarves of the Rockin' Desert came forth and laid siege on the northern dwarves of Siuk and Godbury when they were still one nation. The story goes, this dwarf, a paladin, made her way into the desert, slaying necromancer after necromancer finally returned home, and her own hometown was beset by necromancers, and she fought with the villagers as all of her friends were risen around her. They caught her and tortured her for months until her and a few others broke free and made their way back, where they were hailed as heroes. That's the story of Faraka. Although, I wonder why she was curious about such a person. Were they friends, perhaps?
She did say that she was quite old.
Elves are very long-lived, but... And he kind of looks at you, Talanith. I'm not really sure how long-lived that might be.
Perhaps the mirror plane has something to do with it.
Perhaps. This is a very strange place.
It does have unusual effects on its residents.
With that, we're going to go ahead and cut off right here. Everybody, I hope that you have had a wonderful, wonderful time today. This has been a work in progress over the past couple weeks, and but we will be out the next session, as I mentioned earlier. So we will not be live on the 23rd. Instead, picking back up on the 7th of May. Is that correct, Ian Fear?
Yeah, 7th of May. That sounds correct.
Okay. So yeah, we'll be back on the 7th of May. We're still kind of in talks on whether we're going to take this back to being a weekly fixture or whether it's going to remain being bi-weekly. More on that later. Keep an eye on the social media and of course in the Geeks Guilds and Gamers Discord, where we will keep a constant stream of information for y'all as things develop. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you had a wonderful time. And until next time, this is VGpunx, your most gracious DM. I'm signing off. Keep a song in your heart.